Welcome to the Narratives Obscura channel, where hidden stories and untold tales come to life. Dive deep into the unknown and discover the secrets that history has left behind. If you like exploring the obscure, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. The sound of loneliness. I always liked living alone. After years of sharing space with noisy roommates in college, I finally managed to rent a house to call my own. It was a small wooden cabin in the middle of the forest, far from everything and everyone, perfect for someone like me who valued tranquility above all. The first few weeks were wonderful. I woke up to the sound of birds, spent my days writing and reading, and the nights were silent, just the rustling of leaves in the wind. But then, I started hearing a strange sound. At first, it was almost imperceptible, a faint whisper coming from the basement. I ignored it, thinking it might just be the wind or some small animal taking shelter there. Over time, the sound grew louder. It was a continuous murmur, as if someone were trying to talk to me through the walls. I decided to investigate. One night, I went down to the basement, armed only with a flashlight. The sound stopped as soon as I stepped on the last stair. I searched every corner but found nothing. No animals, no drafts that could explain the sound. Just an old mirror, dusty and forgotten in a corner. I went back upstairs, trying to forget the incident, but the sound persisted, getting louder and clearer each day. It sounded like a voice, but the words were unintelligible. My curiosity gave way to fear. I started avoiding the basement, but the sound followed me, now audible in every room of the house. I could hear it during breakfast, while working, and even in the shower. The voice, low and desperate, seemed to be begging for something I couldn't understand. One night, the murmur became a scream. I woke up with a start, feeling like someone was in the room with me. The flashlight was by the bed. Trembling, I pointed the beam of light in all directions, but there was no one there. The scream continued, reverberating through the house. It was a cry of despair, pain, and suffering. I ran outside, my heart pounding uncontrollably. I spent the night in the car, parked at the house's entrance. When the sun rose, I decided it was time to leave. I went in to grab my things and was met with a terrifying sight. In the basement mirror, the words "Help me" were written in a dark, viscous substance. The sound stopped. During the move, I talked to the older residents in the area. An elderly woman, Mrs. Marisa, told me a story that chilled my spine. Years ago, the house had belonged to a young woman named Clara. She lived alone, just like me, and disappeared mysteriously. They say she was disturbed, hearing voices and talking about shadows that chased her. No one ever saw her again, and the house remained empty until I moved in. Determined to discover the truth, I returned to the cabin during the day, accompanied by a friend, Ricardo. Together, we went to the basement. The mirror was there as before, but something had changed. The surface reflected not just our reflections, but something more. A shadow moved behind us, indistinct and threatening. Suddenly, Ricardo screamed, saying he felt a cold hand on his shoulder. There was no one there. Ricardo, visibly shaken, suggested we burn the mirror. Reluctantly, I agreed. We took the mirror outside and set it on an improvised bonfire. As the flames consumed it, a shrill scream echoed through the forest. It was the same voice I had heard before, but this time filled with visceral hatred. The sound stopped abruptly as the mirror turned to ashes. We left the cabin behind, and I sold the property for next to nothing. I returned to the city and rented a small apartment. The noise of cars, people talking, loud music, all of it comforts me. I prefer the chaos of the city to the deafening silence of loneliness. But sometimes, in the middle of the night, I still hear that distant murmur, and I wonder if I will ever escape the sound of loneliness. Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed this journey into the unknown, be sure to subscribe and activate the notification bell to stay up to date with our latest mysteries. If you found this video intriguing, please like it and share it with other explorers. See you on your next adventure.